So there's a couple other stats here before I kind of start to land the plane on a few last pieces of advice. So one is, I love the fact there's a lot of data around culture and business results. We never had this data, even 5-7 years ago. And we now have data, like they've studied, that positive workplace cultures outperform the S&P 500 index by 4.5 times. So investors, let me say that again. Would you rather have a company that was outperforming the S&P 500 by 4.5 times with a little bit of investment and a little bit of focus on the actual leaders that you have? That's what we're all looking for. So there is a direct tie to business results. The dream team, the right team, can produce results beyond whatever you're planning in these organizations, if we are willing to make the investment of time and sometimes training to get them where we need them to be. The trajectory is going to be very different for a lot of our organizations. So I want to talk about just a couple of things that we see when companies invest in culture. These are some of the outputs that we see from organizations. The first one we see, and I've talked about this, is performance. And I mean individual, team, and company performance. Right? They're seeing people, what do you think I wanted to do after Jackie treated me the way she treated me? Did I want to come in and mail it in every day? I would have jumped off a cliff for that woman. I would have done anything she asked me to do because she was in it with me. People will perform miraculously if we treat them the way they want to be treated and we truly seek to understand who they are. That's what the ultimate dream team actually looks like. I want to tell a quick story because I got some Gen Zers up front here. So we do a lot of culture assessments, and we come in and we baseline. We do focus groups and interviews. We have a whole process. And recently we were doing this with a manufacturing company. And we had a 26-year-old young man that pulled one of our facilitators aside and said, I don't know how to tell you this, but like you've been asking all these questions about culture, and I just want to share an example. He said, when I started in this new role, there was this report that we had to produce for our team. It took 6 hours a week. And I was low man on the totem pole, so they gave it to me to do this work. And in a whisper, he tells my facilitator, and I figured out how to automate it, and now it only takes 30 minutes, and I don't know how to tell anybody. And they're like, that's amazing. And he's like, but I can't tell my boss because you know what? He's going to say I'm not doing it right. There must be mistakes in it. There's no way that can be done in 30 minutes at the quality that we want it to be, right? That's our mindset as leaders, as old curmudgeon leaders like me that have been around the block too many times and have a healthy amount of, fear and negativity about what's possible. But here's what we should do with that young man in terms of dream team. We should take him and send him to every single department in our company and have him automate everything they're doing and make them smarter and more efficient too, right? Imagine how much fun he would have, and imagine the results on the business side if we did that. But how many companies would actually do that? We'd have a reason for why we couldn't do that. We need the resource over here. We don't have time to do that. When we put people in their strengths, they will perform well beyond our wildest dreams. As investors and as leaders, this is the future of business results, is catalyzing, getting people into where they need to be to create what they need to create. The second benefit we see is creativity and innovation. When we allow people the safe psychological place to bring up issues, to challenge what we're doing, we see more innovation faster. If I'm sitting for 6 months with an idea because I'm terrified of you and I don't want to talk to you about it, or I just know you're going to tell me it won't work, all of that innovation is being left unsaid in the organization. That's how we get through the chaos of startup. We need people's ideas. We need that to come out. And the third benefit that we see is we get to the root issue faster. So we have a saying at Keystone with our clients to stop mowing dandelions. FYI, I actually own that URL. I own a lot of URLs, but I do own that one because someday I'm like, there's going to be something around this. Stop mowing dandelions. Think about that. After this rain and this weekend it gets sunny, you walk out into your yard and it's full of dandelions. How's that feel? Not great. Not great. What do we want to do? Go get my son to get the mower out and mow them all down. Because then I can sit on my deck and be like, feels good, green grass. Except for 3 days later, those dandelions are back and they brought friends. I didn't solve the root issue. Most of our organizations, if we're not investing in the people, aren't actually solving the root issue. We're probably solving a lot of the same issues. Where if we could teach people and empower people to dig to the root, imagine all of the issues that would no longer be issues that we are wasting money and wasting time on. So I've preached a lot today, but what I want to leave you with is that the greatest competitive advantage of the future, I can promise you, is going to be your investment in leaders. It's going to be how much you're willing to invest in your founders. That means for all of you investors, taking time to make sure they are coached and they are mentored, because none of us came out of the womb knowing how to lead. Someone has taught us, and there are some ones that have taught us probably things we don't want to carry forward. And our founders are no different. They need that coaching. They need to be better leaders in order for the organization to achieve what they want to achieve. So that's my call to all of you, is be better coaches and mentors for them and expect them to be better leaders so that they can create the ultimate dream team for your organization. Thank you.